Hi, my name's Kieran Frye, and today we're going to tie my Shaggy Caddis. If you've ever loop dubbed anything, it can be, it is easy once you see it and you try it, but some people get a little shy away from it whenever they find out that they have to loop dub something. But we're going to make this pretty easy. So I've attached my tying thread to the hook, and I'm going to pull out about 2.5, 3 inches, and I'm going to wrap it around my finger one time, and then I'm going to tie it back around on the hook, and I made a loop. Now, one thing that you want to do is take your tying thread and tie around the loop that you made 2-3 times or more, and then tie that down. Now what that does is that'll decrease the amount of a gap that you have in the loop. Because you think about it, you have thread on the bottom of the hook and thread on the top of the hook, so your gap in between the threads will be as wide as that hook shank, so you have to eliminate that by taking a few turns around. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a turbo twister, and I'm going to hook that on to that loop and then just let that hang. Okay, I brought the thread up to about the front third, and we're going to leave it up in there for now. And now I want to take some deer hair, and you can use dyed deer hair if you're going to tie an olive caddis. You can do the olive. You can do any kind of dun color, chocolate brown, whatever color. But for today, we're just going to use this bleached because we're going to do a tan caddis, and it's going to be light colored. So we're going to use this. What I'm going to end up doing is cutting about 3/8 of an inch piece off, a nice little clump like you see here, and grab it by the tips, get rid of the under fur and any short loose hairs. And when you get it in your fingers, try to just spread it apart a little bit, and then pick your dubbing twister up and turn it until you get your gap back open, and then slide that right in the loop. And now you can see, since I got rid of the gap, it's actually holding the material. So what I can do now is just pull this apart a little bit and just even it up. And don't worry if it's a little messy. It's all going to spin together, and you're making basically deer hair chenille. And so we can end up with something that looks like that. Okay, so now we're going to spin this up. Make sure that it's down pretty good, so spin it quite a few times. And now what I like to do is I take it off of the dubbing twister, and I just take my hackle pliers and then grab the thread of the loop. Okay, now I fold everything back and keep it going one way. And the nice thing about the deer hair is it is pretty substantial, so it will stay in place once you fold it back. So now what we're going to do is just wrap that around and keep teasing it back and layering it back as you go. Just dress right dress, and so that it keeps angling back. And then you might have to, every once in a while, because of thread torque, it's going to twist it around the thread again each time you take a turn around. So I just kind of tease it back, take a few turns, and then you can tell if it needs twisted back. And just keep doing that. And until you use it all up. And you come up to where you left your thread tie in at. Well, that was a good save there. Caught it with my thumb. So we can grab that back and just finish right there. I'm gonna make sure that's down pretty good, just because it left loose on me. Okay, trim that off. And now I just stroke it all back, and then I tie back on itself a little bit, just to really make sure that it's down. Okay, bring that back, trim up a couple of these oddball. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this over, if you have a rotary vise, and I'm gonna trim out the bottom of the hook. Trim that flat, as you can see. And then I like to just grab it, pull it all the way back, and just kind of just trim it up just a tiny bit. So there's your body, your wings, your hackle, all in one shot. Now all we got to do is just put the hackle on, and I'm going to take one of the whiting, in this case grizzlies, and strip a little bit off. We're going to tie that in. And take a few turns around here. And we'll trim that off. Get rid of some of these that I trapped down. Tie this off. And there's a Shaggy Caddis. So in a sense, it's kind of a quick version of a Goddard caddis, but it floats. So you got great durability, and then two-component fly. So we'll finish that off, and there's my Shaggy Caddis. Now to fish this one, just like you fish a typical elk hair caddis, nothing different. You can put floating on it, you know, paste or the dry, and if you get a really finicky trout, sometimes you can even cut the hackle off the bottom of it, so it sits lower in a film. But that's pretty much it. Thank you.